rapidly noticed these figures both look odd in their shapes. They were not normal individuals. Where are we?
I spoke it. Yes, I told you that. FCG? Oh, yeah. What? Oh, come on.
It's a voice I don't recognize. It sounds evil, malevolent of some sort. Something tired or withered from sickness.
Get out of my head.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Go back to your fucking shit.
Devil. Wait. It's got a twin. A familiar twin.
Who do we know that's a twin? What's a twin?
Is it you? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What have you done?
It's a dust storm, you know, we just got. Just get over here. Stop making me talk.
I'm sorry. Where is it? Where are you? Oh, you're right in front of me.
I see him. Hi. You're all so good, okay? So,
You told me no. I said I asked you for advice on that thing. Yeah, that's what I came. You said you needed a robot. What's going on with Candace?
with Candace and Ira are taking care of
They're
it.
actually getting along great.
The two of them are gonna
A lot in common. They both live in it now. I was a base social. Well, let's not judge. Let's judge.
Your way of thinking that's he's
Well, you can call me base sociopath if I know, you know? Base sociopath.
That's true. Ira's a man was words. Ira's a man was words. He said that, and I think.
He said it.
Yes. Ira's a man of his word. I really think they're gonna do it.
He's so fueled by rage and wanting to destroy this thing. I think he'll do whatever it takes, even if it means doing the right thing.
He told him a secret. He said nothing other than that.
Okay. He mentioned that he was studying the giant spoon, and he said that it looks like it's missing a piece. I don't know if that's the one yet. I don't know if it's ready. It might not be ready to go, which might make some time for it.
That means it would work, right?
Or that would work wrong.
It could be ready in a moment. They could just be transporting it from someone's pocket. So we should just start doing
If we see anyone go on to start working on this.
What?
To act like we have top secret clearance. We can have some delivery of the land.
Do we still have the other ones that we broke and we fixed?
We still have it, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, but they don't know that. They could hold it up and say, you're supposed to put this on the top of the thing, let us through.
That's a good idea.
Well, I think it was Chet's idea. Your voice is weird too. Is it the devil?
So, Lachlan, that was a great idea. It's in the hole, when they open it up, and I'm hopping in.
See if we can get this big thing working.
This is the thing.
You look over and you see this massive object, probably 15 to 20 feet tall. It's hard to tell from this angle. It's partially now like covered at the base of the dust that's blown around it. But it is a rotund egg-shaped entity, apparently. Egg-shaped. I don't know what it is.
Someone, that. Okay, back up a second. How did Candace and Ira get that ship? Did they plant Ira as they were plummeting to their death? Ira is going to grab Candace to teleport them somehow to the ground.
I'm only at 60-40. I think I'm going to keep that to myself. But
fight for us. Or just to get us down inside.
I
And these guys are like watching out what's going on.
I got you. Look at the
Yeah, yes, there is a doorway type crossing compartment that is its central torso. It looks like it's kind of like essentially a central cargo space in the middle side of it. And it's used both for, looks like, defense and being a sentinel to the facility, but also for carrying and helping construction, hauling of things to and from. But as you kind of, with Chetney's wolf and help, kind of crawl inside and look about, yeah, it's definitely sustained a bit of damage. There's some scuffs and some dings on it. The interior, you can see the power core is completely fried. You see the bits of the inside, basically kind of based on the conversations that you had with Professor and Mahara Joe, kind of like thankfully kind of glean at a quick glance the basics behind what should work inside, though it's not.
And I have a sense of, so I know how it's supposed to work. Can I figure out what's wrong with it? Is it just
It's power core is fried.
it's just the power?
Yeah, you look inside, and there is like kind of one of those like arcane orbs that's kind of like built up on the inside. It's housed within. You can see it's cracked and dark.
And so like there's one power cord that I can identify that's sort of the fault.
Yeah, it's a power core, like this view. Sorry, the orb there. There's like a central kind of arcane claw at the bottom of it that like connects to the rest of the device on the inside.
Okay. I'm gonna try. Is there anything attached to the cord?
Oh yeah, there's like a claw-like piece of machinery that's kind of clung to the top of it that kind of arcs off and attaches to where you see like runic splayed, almost like vein type bits of machinery kind of spread throughout the rest of the device.
And that's the only sort of connection point. Is this sort of like?
But you can see even half of it's embedded in the top beneath where the head is. So.
Can I just sort of investigate around to see if I can, if I were going to sort of tether myself to it somehow, is there any plug, socket,
Make an arcana check.
guidance?
What I got?
Great. Right, 7.
7? You don't see anything specific?
It says there's a little A next to my Arcana. That says that means I can't tell why though.
Whatever, trust it.
It says advantage on.
Because of your ailment ability?
It says intelligence checks made to reveal information about a creature or object you can see. I can see this.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll again.
And guys,
A natural 20.
You glance up and you see the cable that's connected to this power core. It's like dug into the crystal, but you can see the cracks that have like spread throughout it, making kind of loose on one side. So you kind of like, since it's on its side, you reach over and grab and yank on one end, and it dislodges. You pull it up and it comes free, and you can see it. It's almost like a 3-pronged claw at the end of it, and you realize it has a small connecting point in the center of it. And when it's affixed to a source of power, that can be used to generate and run power to the automaton.
I gotta open myself up. Maybe I don't. I'm gonna try something first before I pop open. I don't know if I can pop open myself. I have to do surgery on myself. First, I'm just gonna try this first and see if it works.
Okay.
I'm gonna undo my scrunchie.
Okay.
Take my hair down, my wires, and I'm gonna just try to like sort of tie them into this connection point. See if I can't like wrap them around in a specific way to get metal on metal.
He's totally fine.
With a natural 20 on your Arcana check, so you go ahead and you take these things, and you know you could probably get this up inside and like attach it to your actual core. But go ahead and attempt to see if there is some sort of loose connection here. Well, not as much power as we put into it. As soon as you begin to like tear them in there, basically wrap the claw under your head, it clasps on. You also see a loose flash of sparks from the inside of this area, and suddenly the still, lifeless automaton begins to hum
Pump a
slightly.
little bit more energy into it or something.
Changes programming or altering the rules or anything like that.
We're gonna find that out next.
As soon as that comes on, you're still yourself, but you sense your consciousness also connected to whatever this is, and it is more or less just a blank psychic cockpit, if you will. You suddenly sense, like, you have control of your body, but you now sense, like, an arms and legs beyond your physical self.
Get away from me, bitch.
All right, I'm going to. I've never had legs before. This thing has legs, right?
Legs.
All right, like Bambi. I'm gonna try to stand up on my legs. Just watch out! Watch out, everyone! All that time with the wooden feet was for others. This is different.
The 10th wrapping gets lost in the storm and vanishes. But you now have 3 standing 16, 17 foot tall automatons.
I'm gonna just try to move its appendages, try to see if I can get a sense of balance and limitations on rotation, that kind of stuff. Maybe do a little bit of a chicken dance to just sort of get my bearings here.
Yeah, it's functional and fluid. There's a little bit of a stickiness in the right shoulder. It looks like some of the plating has been damaged from the battle that it sustained.
Can I do the robot?
Make a dexterity check.
I don't know.
Weirdly, not a very convincing robot from a giant robot.
Are there any of those things down in the pit, or are they just along the ramp?
You've only, like, when you were down there, you saw one down there. Like your earlier vision, you saw more around the perimeter as well. But that's just like glances that you've had.
Supposed to be put inside this thing.
What do I do, guys?
First off, do you get that short rest?
Yeah, I'll say you guys can go ahead and take a short rest.
So,
So I regained a couple spells before with my sorcery points, and I'm gonna use the short rest to use sorcery points.
Okay. 3 days.
Outside of you, you could fit 4 standard people uncomfortably on the inside, with 2 smaller people acting as well.
4 people. So 3 medium-sized.
There are 4 medium-sized, or if you have 2 small acts as a medium.
Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 2 smalls. No, we're short. One person can't come.
What are you looking at me?
No, I'm just telling you because you're my friend.
Outside, absolutely.
No, I don't want you to go outside.
I don't know if I like being in small confined spaces. I'll do it if I need to. I'm very snuggy, so.
I am. I'm very still.
Burn that.
Yeah, I think I helped. I will wait for some sort of confirmation.
Hide inside. Actually, I got this thing fixed. Be ready to slightly open.
Certainly try.
Other thought. We could take the hole and maybe line the bottom of the robot with the hole and give us like an extra 10 cubic degrees.
I don't think it'll fall out enough for that.
I'll say the interior of it, the floor is flat, so
Never mind.
that's a good thought.
Well, it's just one of us. Right? You mentioned friends. We don't have anyone else with us, right?
Right. We just met 2 people that are down in there now working with Rin.
I did burn range. Range was just a little.
Great.
Yeah,
But they're gone.
yeah, one was named like Doe, and the other one was Ray, and then me. The 3 of them. Yeah.
There's such a musicality to them.
I don't know why the archaeologists get so radical on these parts, but
They just have to have puns.
Because you can know a lot about the Cerberus assembly. One of them looked like she could handle herself in a fight, and then some, and the other one looked like some sort of like a magic zaddy or something. Oh, he was a zaddy. Either way.
They were both zaddies, let's be honest. But yes, they were like, you said that Lunis hasn't been seen for like 3 days. He's MIA, but also that he's getting a little radical and a little on edge, you know, and that maybe he's anticipating some sort of
You guys want
yeah, I'm really excited. It's in the adrenaline.
The way they painted it was either this is kind of getting a little loopy, right? So letting things slip, or that's a feint of some kind. They said that Rin was turned to stone from a glyph, some sort of a magical ward in here, so we should be looking out for those. And then the ginger guy, one of the dude who had red hair, said that Accent said that there was some sort of like mesh devices on the key itself that he thought had
From the
cavern walls.
they don't come from a single point. They seem to like
Shimmer through.
Oh, and then we mentioned the golems, the mage hunters.
Mage
hunters.
That, so he's
so no magic. Unless we're in a fight, or it's immediate.
And then this whole thing is amplified by like a bunch of these mirror-like structures, and then there are these 4 hook-like spires, and it's all powered by a bunch of magic orbs and residual.
It seemed to be buried in the ground. They're not out on the surface this time.
So we're going down in there? Matthew,
Yes.
how do I see?
Take the glasses off.
This automaton does have kind of a dual sensor that's actually connected in the center and the front that is magically utilized to just scan the space in front of it. From the standpoint that you see, it is mainly there's less color and more just like texture and geometry. So it's a unique perspective that you're not used to.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Is that what I see?
But you can see through that if you were to concentrate just on that vision to kind of pull out of your own. That's all you guys got, though. So all you guys just have a little thing.
I think it's a good idea. Since we can't get everybody inside, should we have 2 people outside to kind of chaperone?
I'm pretty good at lying, so I should probably stay on the outside.
And just make sure you cover your hair.
Yeah.
All right.
Who else should be with you?
Use your hair. The mimics.
You gonna tell them that you're Miley Cyrus or Emma Stone?
Wow.
Or someone low?
Lauren?
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't be judging.
I think
6 o'clock.
I like the idea of this thing holding me in its hand, and then I can be out there. I can be looking through those glyphs on the ground the whole time, and then if things go wrong for you, I can just
Barone?
go wrong.
Well, then you can be everybody with the 2 because there's no point hiding from your speed. You could just be intentional. I mean, why not just walk around if you're going to be outside?
I got spotted immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's,
Had a minute. Huh.
Are you going back down to your chutney board?
Yeah. Fun size, baby.
Yeah, there's the cradle.
Yeah.
Incredible honor.
Oh my god.
There's the team.
I'm
I'm just leaving him
the
there.
only one outside now.
No, Orm's up there too.
But he's in a fist.
They're staying there to the second person.
Do we need a... Wait, were you suggesting that Oral basically acts like he's like a prisoner? He's dead.
No, I think he's small enough that the most you'd see is like little cloak hood, and it just look like some shit. Things can't saw it at all. He's so
Is that the plan?
not riding on top. I'm riding.
Like him and Marvel best.
I feel like we're one person outside, but that's just me.
You could leave it at the top rather than swing by his side, by the quarter side.
Everybody else be outside.
Let's try this. We can
We're trying to get some of these mirrors, right? On the way
I
down.
think it gonna be like a pop in, pop out situation. Actually, can we do a quick quick fire drill and see, like, how long did it just take us all to get inside?
It took you about 20, 30 seconds to get all inside.
That's fast.
Time's messed though, so maybe there's some. It's not fast in the fight. Just making sure everybody's aware.
It's a bit of a time circumstance.
So are you controlling the pop the hatch button? Because if trouble comes, you can't be slow with the trigger. You gotta be decisive.
I am in this thing. I am tuned into every nook and cranny of it. If you say pop,
Gotta shoot first.
Plus, I can communicate to y'all on the inside, like what I'm seeing.
I will pop when you say pop. Come back on block for a second. Where's the emphasis? Is it a shooting them out situation or puking them out situation?
It's the front of the bell.
I feel like it's a cooperative
I would
situation.
like open it and maybe like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, yes.
Center.
So where am I going?
Damn.
I'll just follow you. You're the little girl who's leading around the big robot.
Whole line of shot. Did you get the lens?
Yeah, I have it out.
It's a good story.
That's the last
Okay.
resort.
Last resort.
Okay.
Um,
Another wave of warm, magical energy just kind of pulses out from the outside as you're now getting closer to the edge. You see them again.
so feel free to just, if you see anything.
Say something.
Yes.
I'm excited.
TSA.
All right, this
It's going well.
All right.
I'll
Remember this moment.
And don't forget, at some point, I can't probably while I'm attached to this, someone's going to have to tell Xandus to go. At some point, when we're ready.
And the goal is to tell Nicole to go once we maybe disable this meshy mesh.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Criteria for telling Xandus to go. Ren is secured, maybe. Mesh is disabled. What else?
Shit hits the fan and we have
Just
no other
those
option.
two?
Shit is okay. Now the other question's gonna take like an hour for the shark to get here, right?
They're bona fide.
You're both fine. So should I tell him now? Because it's gonna be.
This could take hours.
I'd say tell them now, because if things have started in an hour, that would be great.
Even if we do tell them now, we still need to, don't we want to be able to send them a signal at the last moment?
So maybe I tell.
Let's go in and just see what we see. We can still, doing a sending it takes 2 seconds, right?
Other doing sending is magic.
True, but it's quick. Plus it's how
Yeah, what if you do it? You can't do it.
The mage hunters is what I'm afraid of.
I don't know.
I'd say, honestly, I'm happy to just say ticking clock 1 hour, and if you hear from us sooner, then start then. Shit drops, shark come in 1 hour.
Don't you try to do it, or should it save you your spells?
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Sure.
Make that. Don't do that with your shoulders.
I'm down for an hour timer. Keep clock running. It'll be a fucking miracle when they make it an hour.
Looking at the size of this ruin, does an hour seem feasible for getting?
Well, you haven't gotten to the edge of it.
Okay, well, let's get to the edge and then we'll take a look in,
Oh god.
and then we'll see
Do it
where
to
we're
the
at.
writing thing.
You're all crammed in very densely with no light, unless you create small light source within. But it is like it is. You're pushing into each other. Elbows are smashing into the side of rib cages. It's not comfortable by any means. For you, CG, it's a fascinating sensory experience. You don't feel like your body. You feel pressure. There's something unique about your construction that is sensory in ways this is not. This definitely feels like wearing a suit of armor. But as you walk, you feel the power behind it. You feel the weight, the heft, the strength. It's interesting.
It's interesting.
How do you feel?
I like it a lot.
Do you feel like a big old daddy? was trying to give it a different name. It sounded a little weird.
Is that a thing? I'm taking notes. Big old daddy.
As you begin to step to the edge of this excavation, you, images following alongside, you can see at the edge of the rock before it begins to plummet off into this deep pit. The network of structured bridges and long wooden walkways that cross the outside edges from place to place down the interior. While the dust storm blows overhead, there is some level of dust that still finds its way down within. It is much clearer past a certain point. The first thing you notice at the edge are a number of pikes and spears that are kind of placed into the rock and dirt along the edge, which look like they're holding almost like beads, necklaces. Upon a quick glance, you can see some weapons hanging on them. You can see heads. You can see an iron mask without eye holes and script scrawled into it. And you begin to make up maybe these are calls, trophies placed on the exterior as both a warning and an intimidation attempt. With that sort of context, you also see a lot of these things adorning it are holy symbols of different gods, entities that had come likely on the previous vessel that crashed. Left as a display of the things they cast outside of this pit.
You're smarter than all of us.
Yeah, I think we were running from the
You step up to the edge and you can see one of the kind of ramp-like declines that is carved into this excavation that begins to wrap down the inside of this. There are a few of them, but the one that's closest to you is not too far from where you met the edge of the pit. And the two of you, side by side, begin to slowly descend down, down, down. Glancing over the way, you can see a number of sources of what is almost like a combination of torchlight in some places, others just a soft blue glow of magical light orbs used to illuminate the space below. You can already see from way up here all manner of ruins exposed below. You can see tables, signs of the excavation that previously had taken up residence here before it was co-opted. But even looking below, you can see dozens of figures kind of walking around, handling business. Too far to really make out too many details, especially with your vision being a little separate than what you're used to gleaning from. But looking below, you can see there almost the entire height of this pit, maybe about a little past halfway up to 3/4 of the way up its full depth is the spire itself. You can see the kind of thrumming green pulsing glow of the residual that now lines it throughout the extremely dense black metallic armor that has been heavily reinforced around this central spire as it comes to that fork towards its peak. Four smaller spires that hook inward facing this direction, where it looks like there are other clusters of individuals that are working on and loading something you can't quite tell from this distance. Further pulse of that odd dispel type wave to the side. Make a perception check, both of you.
Peering out from this thing's hand too. I'm outside.
That's true.
11,
17.
21.
21. Right before the happens, you see it seems to emanate from two devices along the base. Not from the spire, not from any of the mirror devices, though you see them all kind of gently light up in reaction as this wave cascades upward, like everything with some sort of arcana attached to it reacts in some way as it carries up and passes through. As the wave hits you, it kind of scrambles you for a moment. You don't lose control, but for a second your vision kind of gets to get fuzzy, and you have to kind of take a moment to right yourself for the weird static and this loud hum that it seems to thrust into your mind begins to slowly fade. But you glance down over the side, and once more you see the next wave come. These two devices that are set kind of at the northern and southern edges of the base of this excavation, beginning to glow different glyphs across them before they send out the wave simultaneously.
Like the devices.
You can't quite see the full shape of them. You just see that kind of a glow and then a pulse emanating from them.
It's just for structural clarity. So we've got this prong or key or whatever this thing is that doesn't clear the top of the pit.
Correct.
From where we are, like, do we have a guesstimate? Does Orm have a guesstimate how far to the bottom we are?
Probably about 150 feet.
150 feet. And then you said there were 4 smaller, not keys, but other.
It's like kind of arced towers that are facing in towards the key.
Are they coming from the bottom, or are they like coming from somewhere halfway?
They're coming from the bottom. Yeah.
And
So
so the
central.
spire key goes halfway up the pit.
A little past halfway, almost to 3/4.
The glowing that's emanating from the 4 prongs.
From the 2.
There's 2 devices in the base that are emanating this kind of dispel.
Okay.
It's dark down there, other than the lighting up.
No, there are light sources. There's people working. There's like torchlight. There's like orbs that are giving off blue light. There's a lot of bustle and work, and you see other figures that are walking on different levels of the pits, like curving pathways and across some of the extended bridge, almost like long catwalks that run across the excavation in different places. There are like tunnels or cavern holes, cave entrances you can see along this path where there's like storage spaces off to the side. What would you like to do?
If we keep just walking down, will we just spiral all the way to the bottom?
It looks like you would.
I think it'll take.
Seems very
Are
fast.
those extra spires?
Yeah, there's a smaller.
Can we see the mesh that Widowgast described? The mesh-like devices on the edges, or is that?
When you see that the dispel wave, just like how everything that has some sort of arcana to it kind of slightly glows, you can see dozens of these little dots that are kind of embedded in the sides of the tunnels. Yeah, but it's all mainly based around the bottom.
But it's all coming from those 2 main glowing points that then emanates out to all the little motion capture balls. And Foe and Widowcast, we're gonna go for one of them, but we try and do the other, correct? Pretty sure that's what they said. I know they got a head start. Right.
If they said they were gonna go for one of them.
They're going in to try and disable both the device that's dispelling this, and or looking for any means of disabling the power sources for the key.
So we go for the smash.
I just message Imogen and say like to any eyes on our friends. Fuck that, we wouldn't see them.
Looks kind of that. But continue to walk down, I believe.
Yeah, please.
I guess when should we call in the Ashari? We should call it like. When do we even want to set the clock? I mean,
Does it look like a 1-hour walk?
To the base? No, probably about at the speed of this and doing it carefully without drawing attention. About 10 minutes.
We want a distraction. That's the plan.
yeah, just
Draw people out here. And how fast do I think we can get down there?
10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Even less than about things just pop off like that.
Okay. I'm gonna wait until one of the pulses goes on immediately after the cast ending.
Okay. Do the step down. Down the sometimes like 15, 20 foot wide walkway. Sometimes it looks like parts of kind of the ship are falling off. I think it's to about 10 feet wide, which is a little nerve-wracking for the width of your current shell, but doable.
Hey, thinking on the site of the adjudicators hanging on the pikes, just thinking on it, did we notice any signs of damage, ruptures, slashes, or do they look mostly intact?
I'll say make an investigation check in hindsight as you're glancing through, peering through the front belly entrance. Dirty 20. Nice. They appear to be more damaged, like there was some sort of, whether it be from if they were part of a crash or they were part of a scuffle, you're not uncertain, but you do definitely see
take regards. Those are NPCs. NPCs don't wear fucking cutlasses and a goddamn rifle.
But yeah, but they looked like they had seen some sort of wear. The next wave comes through as you time yourself to go ahead and cast your spell right as it passes past. What are you doing? Casting sending towards Keelan.
We're heading into the pit. If we start the clock now, you'll be here in an hour. That should give us enough time. Anti-magic pulses every minute. We're trying to take it out.
Love Scarlett Johansson.
She responds. Okay. I'll gather the forces I have. I found the tree. Within an hour, likely. We'll look for a sign.
We can assume as soon as Pate gets hit with one of these anti-magic blasts that he'll go bye-bye.
Oddly, no.
No.
You watch him kind of like lose cohesion for a second and then pick right back up.
My baby.
It's odd. The energy waves of this aren't like fully dispelling things. They're just kind of scrambling a little bit.
Interesting.
The rest of us feel anything?
You feel like
Okay, and that's
just like a gentle breeze suddenly blows by with it.
Do you want to do
Okay.
this?
Well, so, yeah, did you describe, I think, that when those pulses come, all the dozens of little points down below kind of flare a little bit?
Yeah,
as well?
everything that has some sort of enchantment to it seems to like light up slightly, almost like there's just like a wave of lights going on.
Well, Orin remembers that Caleb and Bo told him that man got hit with a petrification glyph, so he is looking for those on the ground, especially when the surges happen, to see if anything lights up on the ground
Okay.
or walls.
Okay. So I'll consider the passive perception as we're descending, and when you get closer to the actual base, to make an active check for that too.
That's right. We could theoretically use some of this to our advantage. Glyphs like disable for a minute, but then come back when they pass.
And plus, like, we have to consider that it can't be a localized glyph. People have to go down there and service that thing. It has to be a reaction to something trying to disable it or hurt it, right?
I don't know.
People have to work on this shit all the time.
Hopefully we're going to know where they are.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see.
Those kinds of glyphs, I mean, we don't know this, but those kinds of glyphs can have a condition set to fire off, right? So it could be an order given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Can I just check in with Pate? Say like, how did that feel? Did you like black out for a second? Did you go away, or was it just a little woozy?
No, he's more of a little woozy. He just sort of like I just someone kicked me in the nuts for a second. It kind of get a little fuzzy, and I was good to go. Actually, to say that, I didn't even have nuts. What's about having nuts? You don't know I don't have nuts.
I don't know. We should add chutney.
That's it.
Was it like having nuts?
How big are yours?
Kind of like curls up, and
Oh,
you tell me, you constructed him. Did you build him with
Rats
nuts?
have really big nuts.
What?
They do.
Right? How do you know this?
Because I used to have hamsters. Hamsters, if
It's
they
just
had,
giant.
they have big nuts, and I think rats are the same way.
I mean, it was a dead rat body, so I imagine they'd be shriveled and a little decayed, but I wouldn't have taken them off. That would have been cruel.
May not be the proudest of raisins, but they're my raisins.
I have no nuts.
Fantastic.
It's mine's right.
It's right about this time you see two figures that are walking up the ramp. They're probably going to be crossing past the two of you. You see them walking by what has now just been left inside an open cavern that kind of leads into the side of the tunnel. You're about maybe 20, 25 feet down from the top.
Let's go into that little cavern.
I took my cloak.
I will say for this, I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Um,
11.
Okay. Well, you both kind of continue to walk down. You kind of head to the edge of this. The two figures that pass by. You see another one in a vanguard robe. hood up, kind of scarf half down. Looks to be either a half elf or just kind of an elf that quite eccentrically features female, older. Kind of just glancing back at you and the large automaton as you pass by. The other figure you do recognize as an armored General Vertanish.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Why do we keep running into people we know? There's
Oh.
like 500 people here.
Yes.
He was like so right. Listen, I had a shaved head last time I saw him.
Correct.
Or no hair.
As you're walking, Vertanish goes, what did you find? Points to the hand.
Prisoner. It'll be fine.
Really?
I hear this in Druidcraft. Flower red berries growing from it. I just go, smoke that. Nothing phased. Wait.
Okay.
I want to see if perhaps this is one of the friends of our fine decorative lady.
Really?
Warren was one of you. I mean, you're at the event, but you were just in the crowd.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Alright. I'll just sort of like roughly throw him on the floor.
Are you acting unconscious?
Oh, yeah. Potato. That's awesome.
Perception.
It's not high.
Guidance.
18.
Hey!
Vertanish kind of glances over.
Almost feel bad for the thing.
He was spry. It'll be fun.
Alright. Walks over and just kind of gives a little kick to the side. Puts the hand on the side of his kind of battle axe that's hanging on the side of the belt.
Apparently there has been sightings of whispers of more coming from Mesa. So stay cautious. I don't think they'll get here in time, but just in case.
They kind of step around the outside of the cavern entrance and continue heading up the ramp towards the top.
You can pick him up.
Take him again. Grab by the legs. Oh, rock your ass! Rock your shoulder.
How's everybody doing?
I'm just gonna
Put him in your hand.
I'm going
Like,
to give myself 1 point of
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to pee, but you know, it's always funny. You're hiding.
just let it go.
In here? Everybody cool for the whiz?
Well, we don't know what it's going to do to the robot.
So vote for yes, no, maybe.
No.
Later.
As you walk across the catwalk, other figures that are just kind of inspecting, looks like they're writing notes and down, looking over the social device. Further down the pathway, you can see another tunnel that leads off to the left-hand side. This one is a bit wider, and you can see within there's 2 tents that have what looks to be some open and empty crates, some cots, and you can see what look to be a pile of bodies. You, from what you can see within the hand, don't recognize anybody at a glance. No.
there's a lot of dead people in here. Should I go look?
10, 30.
Quick glance, close to 10.
What kind of clothing are they wearing?
I mean, they're wearing thicker desert and badlands ready outfits, cloak scarves, but they all look to be just traveler's garments. Nothing that signifies vanguard, nothing that signifies call. Your sword toughness isn't going to get close and inspect. You continue to curve around the edge of the descending pathway. I would like you to make a dexterity check for me for the machine.
Sure. Mind if I
Guidance,
add something?
guidance.
No magic.
Oh, wait,
You start and we just
wait, but can't I just try?
no.
Good point of it. I'm so sorry. Dexterity check.
Yeah, roll a d20.
Okay. 17.
17. As you're stepping along the side, it's a because you're not so terribly used to this body. There's a moment where you see where elements of this slow curvature crumbled, and you kind of saw it, and you get nervous at its approach. The moment you get there, you kind of hold yourself steady, and then push past, and definitely you're picking up the swing of this body
Feet are so fun.
back onto a firm space, continuing to descend. You can see as it widens a bit, there are 3 figures. Another one in Vanguard, 2 other Paragon's Club members, and behind them, a secondary warder that is approaching from behind.
How do you get past if there's 2 warders on the?
Yeah,
Warders are what I am right now?
I mean, the pathway here is a little. There are parts that get wider, kind of like outcroppings that kind of stand there as like positions to watch over, and where the long catwalks are attached to, there is a space that can go across, but it's going to be a tight walk. They get there first, and they do stop and wait, knowing that you're going to be making a passage there.
Search about.
All right.
Are they looking at me? Are they making eye contact? Do they seem like they don't care?
At the moment, they don't care.
A little adjust.
Next wave hits, you feel the cascade through your form. The runes on the outside of the automaton shell light up once more as you kind of push through that scattering, that static, and eventually come to the opposite end of this outcrop. With that, you kind of do-si-do, passing each other. They're definitely leaning on the inside, forcing you to go around. As you do, they do get a close look at you. I would like you to make a stealth check again, and I would like you to make a deception check.
13 this time.
That was a 12 for everyone at home.
They walk by, the automaton kind of just cruises past. The 2 call members walk. The 1 Vanguard member kind of stops and turns his head in your direction, and you hear a voice in your head. What's your business?
Delivery for General Temmel.
I don't think I've connected with your man before. What's your name?
That's none of your business.
Make an intimidation check.
Come on. Come on.
Come on, Will Arnett.
Okay. Natural 20.
As this individual is kind of an untrusting curiosity and a forceful push into your mind. and you're up until recently unfamiliar with having that sort of willpower resistance within your own will. But you're focused, and you immediately push back and slam them out of your consciousness as they visibly clear their throat and catch up with the other two Paragon's call members. They get to Dahlia.
Oh, I'm Batman. Cool.
You're about halfway down the pit now, and you've gone past the peak of this massive Malleus key. As you descend it, you can see the cresting pulses of greenish glass exterior veins of the residuum that has been burned within, and now you can see at the bottom of this platform, you can see the massive machine that is affixed to the base of this key. You can see the glowing engines and the armored exterior. This thing has been heavily reinforced, and now with the wave of energy around it, you can see there's also like some sort of an arcane field around this device, some sort of like a shell or a shield.
Like an energy, not a physical barrier, but like an energy barrier.
Like some sort of arcane boundary is visible on parts of this machine. You also see a number of these figures that are based around these four smaller kind of curved spires. They have ladders and staircases, and they're up inside and they're placing things within, and you recognize the crates that they're reaching into and the small vials that they're removing from them and affixing up inside these four smaller spires. They are filling with installing into them more of these vials of possibility.
Jeez.
Dude, what the fuck are they making? Oh my god.
You also see another familiar figure step through one of these groups.
This is the worst dairy farm ever.
A dark red, tattered cloak and cowl, the gray hair, the familiar, frightening visage. Yeah, right there. Right there in front of you.
Put it away! Put it away!
The legendary Odohon Fool, who steps up and speaks to somebody and turns around and pulls her cloak up. And you watch as something behind her ejects two vials, fall to the ground, and somebody else installs two into the back. The cloak falls over it once more.
So those that are going into the spires?
Mm-hmm.
So she's just getting all these possibilities. She's just getting maybe luck all the time.
Gotta find the Doom this bunny. The Doom this bunny around here with a drone.
She then walks off and exits the central area to some direction. If you want to see where she's going.
That is a 24.
24. You kind of keep an eye out, and you can see now down here there's at least 25, 26 people in immediate visual range that are running different bits of the preparation around here. You watch Odohon kind of scoots through and heads towards one entranceway, or I would say like cavern entrance that descends out of view.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
In your head, you hear, well, fuck. We didn't really think about what we were going to do when we got down here.
Tilt your head down to the right. See that entrance down there?
Yeah. Okay, what about it?
That's where she went.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw.
You know, with the roll that you made, you do see there are some small alcoves kind of built into it, but there are four. You rolled pretty decently. I might get closer, but you can see like at least the one that she went through looks to be more freshly open. You can see there are mounds of dirt on the outside and piles of rock. Like the tunnel she went through was recently excavated.
Freshly tried to go back.
Indeed.
Wow.
Do we see? Do we see that?
From this angle, you do not. You continue to descend, passing by one other call member that comes by carrying an empty crate. Doesn't seem to pay much mind to you. As soon as you get a secondary look, you now see towards the southern base of the key kind of hidden within some of the twisted ruins. And you can now get a better view of these ruins too. There are like staircases and structures that look like this was the center of a society, some sort of a small village or city that was built here that was long lost to time around this device, and kind of tucked into one of these kind of curved bits of ruined stone. You see a statue-like figure. You're uncertain if this is part of the ruin or if this is Rin, but you do see what looks to be a still stone-like figure.
The ruins, do they just look like they were excavated by the previous people here? Or were they built into like the sides of the pit at all?
No, they're uncovered. It looks like this existed long ago, and part of this excavation, whatever sinkhole seemed to emerge here, or whatever excavation long dug within, has been slowly peeling away as the city lost time.
Is Rin completely out in the open for all to see, or
Yeah.
she's not hidden amongst junk?
No, she's like right next to one of those four curved spires, and surrounded by about easily within eye shot of about 20 people.
And how many people are down there? 20 people.
Like 25-ish. And there are individuals like leaving and like into other tunnels, and there are some that are coming back up. Like there's definitely kind of an energy about the movement here that people are getting ready for a big event.
Maybe we start by disabling some of these, and maybe that creates a distraction.
Is there anywhere on the ground floor that looks like it's hidden? Anywhere that looks hidden? Yeah.
Under a bunch of bodies.
It looks like there are a couple of alcoves, small kind of like, not full caverns, but like little 15-foot spaceways into the bottom kind of outer wall, as well as a number of other tunnels and caverns that splinter off from it.
Also, as on that trip down, looking at all these people scurrying around, there's like 20 if I just get a bead on one or two of them as I'm looking everywhere. Do I get a sense of, obviously not Thule, but of just all these strangers walking around? If I pick one or two, do I get a sense of their class level and their HP compared to mine?
Sure, yeah. Glancing at a few of them, you look at say a Paragon's Commander. Class level is slower, strength is higher.
Well, I just asked HP, and I'm just like, do they seem formidable? But one person seemed formidable compared to any one of us.
One person doesn't seem as formidable, but there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And they're no pushovers, at least the Paragon's Commander. You glance at another individual who's in like Vanguard robes, and they're maybe a little less on that scale. Make a perception check for me.
Boy, super low, 2 3s. That is a 12.
Gotcha. Okay.
Should we check out some of these alcoves?
Yeah, do I see my mom around anywhere?
Make a perception check.
17.
17. You look about the crew beneath here, and amongst the various Vanguard rogue figures, the Paragon's Club members, and what looks to be even a couple of individuals that are shackled and put to work, that aren't adorned in any familiar symbols or colors of the factions that you know who joined here, sit kind of amongst the center of the crew. You get this weird sense, and you glance up towards one of those catwalk bridges, and you see a figure leap from it, and then just begin to slowly drift down. And within the dark shadow of the space, you see the silhouette of the figure as it descends, as the glow from underneath the various light sources that are kind of patterned out amongst the busyness that encompasses the bottom of this pit. You see the long leather coat flickering by, the braided, familiar color hair of your mother. She just glides down. He begins conversing with one of the other figures at the base of the key.
She's a vampire. That's what they think. That's right. What are they doing? People in my belly.
You watch as she kind of gestures, and a large piece of metallic armor, where those jagged plates that you've seen being shipped out from above, lifts up off the ground by itself as she gestures over, and it fits itself and clings to the outside.
What's matters?
It's the key.
She's a little stronger than me. No, if you believe in yourself.
All right, here, FCG.
I'm doing stuff. What do you want? What are we doing?
Do we want to start with one of these alcoves?
Are we breaking things? Are we hiding? What are we doing?
You see now another wave come through. This time, with a closer up look, you can see these devices. They're small, self-contained, almost arcane engine-looking devices. There's one on one end, one on the other. Blast. You can see that wave kind of cascade out and upward. And now that you're closer to it, you can see it's not a central wave. It's two pattern waves that kind of bounce off as it heads upward, and that seems to pretty much cover the entirety of the site.
And it's bouncing off the mirrors, or it's just like.
No, they're just kind of like ricocheting off the walls.
Is Rin's form within that flow of energy that we're seeing go up?
That flow of energy hits everything in the chamber.
Everything in the chamber. Okay. The other question is that the passageway that Fool went into and other passageways down here, are they big enough for the warder to fit into?
Make a perception check.
Maybe like stand in front of it.
20.
Did Ren have
The passageway.
Grade 3. It would be very, very tight. That's the entrance. You're uncertain if they widen or grow smaller upon entry.
Start a conversation over here. Two people from Wildland said that they had a power source like squirreled away in chambers dug out underneath, so that's gotta be what she's going to, and there's more. We want to try to zap them of their juice. Let's face the start. We'll lock the water up to one. We can water. Fetch me some water.
Yes. Grandma says.
That's Kentucky shit right there.
Mosey on up towards
Like get
one of them.
out of it first in case they're not welcome.
Right at the door.
Yeah, Scout, see what's in the cavern.
I'll walk over to the cavern and sort of just kind of peek inside.
You come down to the base of this walkway. You're now effectively on the ground floor of this tunnel. There's broken rock and shale around you. You can see there are tools, pickaxes, shovels, all means of excavation within here. You can see empty crates and boxes that have been stacked to the edges, things that have been carried in here. Familiar crates, many that you saw within Hexam's abode, that carry these vials, as well as a handful of small black cases that are marked with Cerberus assembly. You can see the occasional, like, somewhat flinted shard of residual which is kind of left on the ground, like a small flick of it that kind of glitters and glows when that energy field fills up. It's almost like seeing like just a hint of glitter scattered across the dust before you. Many of the figures watch as you approach and just kind of keep an eye out as you begin to enter. Those who are visible, which would be both of you, primarily just you, since you're at non-automaton. How are you passing yourself off as you begin to enter the exterior, the surrounding space of this excavation?
Fuck. What the shit? Head held high. And do I have like a notebook or anything?
Do you?
Just like a proud terror read.
Just like, I'm gonna just like cross my arms and like look around like I'm keeping an eye out for people fucking with us.
Yeah. You do glance around and you see a few more bodies. that are kind of pushed to the edge of this. Looks like they weren't important enough to evacuate, but at least to put off to the side. These look like they were dropped within or fell into the pit and are a bit mashed. One of them does appear to be the familiar physical form of adjudicator that you had encountered before, though arm like heavily broken as it seemed to have landed somewhere in its torso. You can see where its face is in the ground. Most of the dust that has kind of poured through from the storm has like filled in most of the gaps, but you can see where the face is. The mask removed, and it's just this bloody skull where it was pulled from. Another big crate cracks open, and you see two more large metal armored shards lift up in the air as Liliana is guiding the reinforcement of the devices not far from you.
You recognize the material that these shards are?
Metal.
Make a deception check as you pass through. I'll give you advantage because you are accompanied by an automaton. You're not walking straight through, and you are wearing copper vestments.
21.
Okay. Now, are you heading towards one of the alcoves? Are you heading towards one of the cavern entrances? Are you heading to where Odahan was going? What are you doing?
An alcove.
I follow your orders.
An alcove that looks like it's not very busy, so I can get FCG water up against it.
Okay. You glance off to the left-hand side, kind of coasting on the outside edge of this excavation, so you don't have to get directly face-to-face or rub shoulders with any of the immediate workers here. There is one alcove that looks like it's large enough, about 20 feet in or so, and it looks like this was a storage alcove. You come into this space as you kind of walk over the heavy footballs of FCG's water automaton. Behind you, both figures kind of glance over and look and then shake their head and go back to their work. On the inside of here, you can see there are a few tables, and there are other clusters of tools and materials that were used for the excavation that now kind of lay abandoned at the moment, no longer finding their purpose. Mostly dark, no light source beyond anything you wish to bring to the space this far end of the base.
Seems like a good place to get out.
The next way it goes through.
Just two things. I don't know how we get Ren out of this. And two, if this is like the best transport we've had. If we get out, it changes the odds.
Also, this is like a break room we're in. Like, once we're out and we step out, it's odd.
We have to
Yeah.
pick it up though.
Everybody,
People are paying attention to the statue in the garden.
everybody swarms this most important place if we kick it off. I don't know if it's the right idea, but we could follow through and corner her and deal with her alone.
Well, wait, we saw people gathering down here, like they were gathering for an event. What if Odahan is about to make a speech or some shit?
That's fair.
Maybe there's some sort of something where everyone will be focused and then we can wreck some shit.
It's automatons are kind of on patrol duty though, so if it stops to listen to the speech, they might be like, so far? Johnny Five alive?
Stay here. We kind of keep sussing it out, keep jumping from cavern to cavern.
Another option. Again, I'm not just weighing options. Fool went down a freshly cut crevasse, and there were a couple more, right?
Yeah, you can see from where you're currently standing a secondary one about 30 or so feet to the right of the one that flew.
They're just like
Those are
go into the
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go choose.
Yeah, because we can always go in, jump out, fuck that shit up, jump back in, and kind of keep rinse and repeating until we feel like there's maybe a good opportunity to bust the main power.
How long has it been since I called?
I'd say about 15, 20 minutes.
So we have T minus 45 minutes.
Let's go to the next one.
It feels like that might be the right thing instead of getting out here, right?
So yeah, let's go to the next cavern or alcove or whatever and see if we can
Okay.
pull it down.
And walk over, continuing your baseline patrol at the bottom of this excavation site, passing by a crew that begins to move over and cross your path. I'd like a deception check from you. with advantage. As they cross your walkway to not draw any suspicion.
That would be a 27.
Oh, they rolled high too. Not as high as 27. They walk past and kind of glance in your direction. One of the call members kind of just, you can tell just when you look at them, they're glancing around. There is kind of a heightened security state here, and people are actively looking for any sort of infiltration. And you can see from some of the bodies around here, some of the displays at the top of the cavern, that they've had a few incursions already, or at least encounters, and already know that this is probably going to increase as they approach the event. So they have that kind of suspicious glance, but as soon as they see the automaton kind of come out of the alcove, and you're kind of walking comfortably alongside it, they just kind of put their head back down and walk into the far end, pick up some more tools, and begin to head back in towards the center of the ruin. Are you heading to the cavern that's the other cavern, or the one that's over?
No.
Okay. So you cross. No.
There we go.
You cross past the one that Oda went into, and kind of have that breathless moment where all sound seems to.
Trisha Scribble, she's still in there.
Still in that direction. You pass the elements around the outer edge. Another one of those waves cuts through, and now you're glancing around and you can see there are little glyphs that begin to kind of appear in little breaks in the ground. You can see parts of the landscape within the ruin that the other workers are like. You watch they move carefully, and they are avoiding specific places. You see one in the ground.
So just whisper those out to Imogen.
You only see one from this position. You have to get closer to really make it out. But you're kind of out on the outskirts. You see one that you can mark.
Watch where other people are stuck in.
Okay.
Still bodies everywhere?
Not as maybe on this side, but there is another opposite side ramp walkway that kind of is a little bit ahead of where this other secondary entrance is. A figure kind of standing, who kind of walks over and kind of perches their back up against it, takes a deep breath, almost like they're either taking a break or they're acting as a sentinel to this entryway as you begin to step up and approach. I look over towards you as the automaton kind of begins to step forward and they just kind of give a nod.
It's my nod back. You can keep walking.
Okay, you're walking into the entrance.
Yeah.
Goes
Just fully. Huh?
undead outlaw.
Yeah.
This figure's wearing Vanguard vestments.
Casual appearance of a century code.
You're going to put their hood back a bit and you can see this human, male, kind of like pale, very pale skin, kind of balding ring on the sides, like friar haircut. Just kind of like crosses his arms and pulls out, looks like some sort of a hand-rolled cigarette and begins to ignite it with flint.
Smoke break down here.
Come back. What?
Put it away.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep walking like I'm gonna go through the entrance.
Make a perception check. With advantage.
21.
Chris takes it and flicks it onto the ground and stomps it out. And just kind of like leans. But to say he's leaning against the wall, puts the cigarette out. But now that you're approaching this entryway, it looks like it's just wide enough for the automaton to like step into and block, and not get much further than that.
Do you want to block it?
Sure. Sure, I'll.
I mean, you like underneath the legs, there's a walkway, but like you kind of like you can't get much further than like 5 feet into it before you just kind of become the archway.
Is Smokey watching us?
I think it's like off to the side, and he's not smoking away, he's just kind of like pissed off a bit.
Like, can I look in and see what's going on? What's through the entrance?
It is a descending cavern that kind of winds around just out of view, but it is definitely like rapidly goes into a 45-degree angle.
We could open up the belly and hop out.
Go.
Sure.
Again now.
So you step into the belly, opens up, and it's kind of it's a little janky from the damage it sustained from the battle and squeaks a bit. It makes a loud kind of screeching sound, and the figure who's supposed to be turns and looks inside, looks a bit curious about what you're doing.
I just turn and kick the warder. This fucking piece of shit.
What were you doing?
It's none of your business, son.
I'm 52 years old.
I say that in his head.
Okay. Take advantage of the intimidation check.
Come on. Okay. 24, no, 22, I'm sorry.
22. You see that into his head, and immediately kind of goes, this look of like recognition for a second. He goes, puts his hood back up, and then kind of gets to mingle with the rest of the working crew and manages to get a shot.
Before has there been a pulse? Wait here for a second. Send Pate down low.
Don't worry, I got it.
Just be shut your mouth. Right. Look through his eyes.
The tunnel curves down almost in a complete, not full 360, but definitely like a 180 back below. The ramp eventually exits into another fresh cavern. It looks like it's been like haphazardly open. Has kind of an entryway in the center there, mainly just like rock and broken shale. It's very rough here. But there is kind of towards the back of it a cluster of various arcane power sources. You can see there are arcane cores. You can see there are cylindrical designs. There looks like a haphazard collection of different power sources from different places all across Xandria that have been kind of tethered together. You can see it's partially armored in places, and it's been kind of like affixed into the wall, and where they're all attached, this heavy piece of like mechanical cording. You can see there is almost like around the outside of it residual tethers that seem to carry and emphasize the power coursing upward into the rock and above.
That's any sign of people?
There are 3 figures in there keeping watch. You see 2 Paragon's Call and 1 Vanguard figure that are sitting at a table, and they're all kind of faced open towards the wall. I'd like to make a stealth check.
I go invisible. I tell him telepathically to go invisible.
Which he can do. He goes invisible.
As we came down in this lower area before we picked this cavern by the garden, she is mind fucked. About how many caverns did we see roughly?
Along the base?
Yeah, like different avenues that we could.
Yeah, the one and one, you cross over to the next one, that's all you've seen. Just two so far, but you've only really been around like 40% of the outer wall.
Alright. There's 3 motherfuckers down there. Apparently you said they were just like chilling, playing like, cards.
No, they're playing cards. They're kind of like talking, conversing, and you can see one of them like their knee is bouncing with nervous energy. Like they're just kind of been assigned here. And
what are they saying? Anything of import?
A little perception check for Pate, if you don't mind. It's not a very high DC necessarily, but it's fun to see what gets rolled.
What would I use? His wisdom?
Yes.
10.
10? Listens, and then one of them is like, I don't know, there's something about this. It just makes me nervous. Haven't been part of something quite this big, you know. We're used to taking people's money outside of the city. You notice, like, kind of glancing over his eyes, this is one of the call members who's talking to, partially to the other call member at the table, and kind of also to the Vanguard figure who's kind of faced partially away. The other one is, and here there's just one small light source, which is this kind of singular oil lantern. It looks like an oil lantern, but the flicker in it is just a steady magical glow. So it looks like this is a magical lantern. Most of these within here are, so as not to run out of fuel. As it's placed on there, the other call figure is a massive half giant, kind of sits back in the chair and goes, "This looks to be." They're wearing Vanguard robes. You can't really tell in the low light. You can see they're humanoid. But you can't see more without roll 10, unfortunately.
Okay. I relay that message. Looks like we've got one Vanguard member, 2 Paragons call, one half giant. They seem very uneasy. We might be able to use it to our advantage.
Catch them real quick and keep it quiet.
Get them keep it quiet, or we could try before we keep it quiet to have them, like General Thomas or Timo requests you topside at the rim, like send them all the way up, right, with your mind powers or something, so maybe they block and keep going, so that we don't get noisy here. Yeah. Maybe that also doesn't help us with the noisy that we're gonna have to get against the batteries, right? Unless we could leave some kind of a.
I wish I had a silent spell. Does anyone have a silent spell?
We never saw a mage punch or golem or anything like that.
I don't think we would.
Well, they heard about Owen to start.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. These are not golems. We could roll in 3 for 3 plus Imogen if you wanted to.
Right. To try and give orders first, and then if it goes bad.
Yeah, like where the shift change.
Right. Yeah, shift change is good.
Okay. Who's doing it?
Who's wearing robes?
Yeah, we got 2 Paragons call, right? Robes and 1 Vanguard robe.
I was in Vanguard.
You were in Vanguard.
I think I had a paragon.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 3 Paragon outfits. It was taken from the encounter in EOS, and there was 3 Vanguard members that you fought when you first came to the entrance of this.
Why don't we do you 3, and then the rest of us will stay back a little bit, but be here.
What if someone comes up and is like, what are you doing at Tom? Just like laying on your own.
Well, it's broken down.
No, just
Well, if I look around, are there any other automatons like me around?
You saw a number that were kind of in the process of bringing materials.
They were all working, none were at rest.
Currently, yes. And then,
Okay, and are there any bodies around? Or any,
in this cavern that you've wedged yourself into, no.
well, I'm going to back out of
Okay.
the wedge. Yeah, are there any piles of rocks or anything that I can just sort of do busy work, like piling bodies or piling rocks or sort of clearing a path?
You can certainly do busy work.
I'm going to do busy work.
Okay. All right. Is it just you within? Who all staying inside?
Is anyone who's lagging behind, are they getting inside the water?
Yeah.
They're going to stay inside.
Okay. So exiting the water. Who's exiting the
I am.
Or
I'm exiting the water.
Okay.
water? Oh, God. I'll fix it. Great.
I'm going to keep Pate down there.
Broad.
Can you give any, just continue to be their eyes until we get down there.
Okay. You got it. So, we have the 3 of you walking in Vanguard robes behind Imogen. As you descend the cavern below.
I can continue to watch. I can also cast touch spells or Pate, so
You can.
I can look in that way.
Okay.
You step into this rock chamber that has kind of like a winding, like a rocky stair that's just made from digging into the dirt below. You can see the table across the way and some of the open crates, as well as the kind of the different pulsing, thrumming glows of energy sources that are all kind of mashed together in the far corner. As soon as you step in, the figures kind of glance over where the column is. He points over. The Vanguard figure turns around, and you see there like a green-scaled dragonborn beneath the hood, with one kind of cloudy cataract eye, kind of glancing over. And you immediately hear in your mind, "What is your purpose?"
There's trouble on the rim.
What trouble?
There was an attack, General Tomish. Says to be on the lookout. Y'all are needed up there.
Make a deception check.
Come on.
This does not have advantage.
18.
18. This figure goes, really? Well, then I suppose we should get to it. Stands up and kind of glances at the other two. He does kind of look back at him, give a nod. They stand up.
I want to have a second just to see. I want to see if there's any funny businesses. This make
It is funny.
Make an insight check.
Right, it's on.
Yeah, they're
No, 7.
7.
No.
Hard to pick up on
Yeah,
immediately, but they kind of walk past. They kind of spread out a little bit. Two call members kind of wrap around the four of you, and the central vanguard figure kind of walks past you to get a very like up close glance at you. And as they move just past your shoulder, kind of looking into you, you hear in your mind once more their voice go, let's see what you're made of. I need you to roll initiative.
This combat will be brought to you by WizKids Minis, the Vox Machina box set. The Vox Machina is available now for pre-order. Find these and many more Critical Role minis at wizkids.io/crminis and your local game store. Wow, we are in it.
Can I roll as well for Pate? Pate?
You can't. I don't think I can be surprised. As long as I do that. Hold on, where is it? Check.
It's pretty. We're all rolling.
Are you in there?
Also, if you were surprised at the beginning of combat, you can act normally on your first turn to activate rage before doing it. And so we have, I don't know.
Chet, probably up here. Right.
The Ruby Vanguard person here is the dragon. Is the oh man,
So don't have a ruby, a dragon ruby vanguard figure necessarily, but we'll say that this figure is the one that just walked past before saying that. And then the other two figures are here, tiny one, the halfling, right there, and then this one here, which is the large half giant. So, from that point, let's go ahead and do initiative 25 to 20. Okay. 20 to 15.
17.
Okay. 15 to 10.
12.
All right. 10 to 5.
5 for Pate. Slash.
Alrighty. Looks like Pate was probably visible. I'm just going to put this as Pate here, kind of up on the edge of the cliff and watch. But top of the round, Orin, you're the first to react. As soon as you see everyone kind of like tense and move inward, you know immediately what's coming. Go ahead and jump to the task. What do you
I
do?
spring to it. I slide right under Mage's legs and drag my blade along the lower part of his leg and try to whip him up and drop him on his back for the tripping attack.
Go for it.
That's low. That's not gonna hit. Probably that is a 11.
11 does not hit.
And then I will just bring it around and stab his leg, I guess, this other way. So I will then flip it around and then try to dig it into his calf and do the same. That's better. That is a 17 to hit.
17 chest hits.
The save is strength against 16. DC 16.
That is a failure.
He's on his back.
So the first strike is trying to cover. Robert steps back as soon as you slide down, and you watch this kind of this mental field just deflect this flash of psychic energy, and then as soon as they pull their leg up, you smash the other leg out from underneath with another slight thing.
And I'm trying to drop him right in front of Ash.
How much damage was that?
14.
Okay.
And then I'm going to dive and roll under Imogen's legs, crawling up onto this little rock outcrop
This
in
guy,
here.
like,
That's fine.
over here.
Yeah, nope, too far right there.
Oh, you got it. Okay, gets attack opportunity against you.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to be a 13.
Doesn't hit, and I
Smashes in the rock.
immediately do bait and switch with Imogen.
Mm-hmm.
So that we trade places. I roll back under her and push her up onto that rock. You get an extra 7 on your armor class at the start of my next turn.
So up here.
Yeah, shield up in front of her.
You got it. Awesome. That finish your go?
Yes.
All right, next up we have the guy who's on the ground. Gets up from prone for half his movement, and it's going to go ahead and move back this way. Actually, no, he's not, because he's in combat with both of you, which kind of stays in place. And instead, it's going to go ahead and cast Hypnotic Pattern. Alright. It's going to go ahead and it's going to create a Hypnotic Pattern in this space. Does get their friend in it over here. But I'm going to need all 4 of you to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
I have advantage against being charmed.
You do.
Oh,
Like this.
yeah.
10? Alright.
15.
15.
15.
15. Suddenly, you watch as the figure kind of stands like up, and they put their hand out in front, their eyes flash. You kind of put your gaze away, but the rest of you suddenly see this splash of Technicolor in front of you. And your arms kind of drop to your side, and you just kind of stand there, currently charmed. And while you're charmed, you're incapacitated and your speed is 0. You are frozen in place. Yeah.
Oh, wait. That would be
That
16.
save was not.
I rolled 16.
16 succeeds then.
Oh.
So the two of you just drop there, staring into space, almost drooling. You manage to just shrug it off. This is exalted energy.
Oh, shit.
Subtle. Not as forceful maybe as yours, but present.
I would think that any bump I was given to Imogen's armor class is gone too. So I'm just.
I'd say
Would it?
logistically it's him guarding you, so
Yeah.
I'd say yes.
Okay.
From a narrative standpoint, it makes sense. Nevertheless, that finishes with you both frozen, actually. You're not. He's uncertain. No, because you didn't get affected. He's going to stay put. With that said, the actions go. Ashton, you lose your turn.
Oh.
I can't do shit about it.
No rules, so just say roll.
Alright, cool.
You take any damage, or someone uses an action to shake you out of it. You need to break out.
Oh.
But otherwise, you just stand there. Stupefy. All right. Chetney, you're up.
Cool, this is fun. I'm going to move so that. Is Ashton, if I move opposite of Ashton, is it still considered flanking even though he's catatonic?
No, because he has to be threatening the target.
Fuck a duck.
Oh, and technically his friend was in the. Oh, he did succeed with the natural 17. So the call member is not.
You can cap me on the way around, but no, I'm not gonna.
Takes his action.
Too much bad. Oh, wow, okay, never mind. Shit.
But you don't have damage to the figure, it might drop concentration if you're feeling confident.
So I will stay where I am and not move into a flanking position, and I will bring out turmoil and use the magic word to unleash the full sight.
The blade shoots out of the side.
With my bonus action, I'll draw it up along my calf. And you just see flame dance up the side of the side.
This is what we have.
And I'll take a swing against the figure that cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. That is 19 to hit.
19 hits.
19, and the second strike will be 19. 27.
Yeah, both hit.
Amazing. Okay. Let's do plus 3. 15 on the first one.
15 damage. Maintain concentration.
And 16 points of damage on the second one.
Maintain concentration.
And let's see on both of those.
Oh, 1d thunder damage on each, sorry. Or, yeah, 1d8.
Okay. Alright. Chetney, gonna stay put? the thunder damage connect to the save? It does. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be a whole part of it.
Okay.
Okay, they keep saying it's alright. Yes, that's it.
Okay. All right. So you stay finished there. Now it goes to these two figures' turn. This one runs in. So we'll go ahead and kind of pincer you against the others. They both have advantage on their attacks against you. First one here is going to go ahead and strike you with its big old mason's hand. Oh my god. With advantage, thankfully. Okay. 17 hits.
That does it.
Does hit. Okay, cool. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. It just cracks you upside the head. You kind of pull out a wage sometime before it takes any heavy impact. You feel your ear kind of warm from the cut. Set the mace. Second strike with advantage is also going to hit. That's not even higher than that. It's 23.
Oh, yeah.
That's only 3 points of bludgeoning damage on that one. The opposite side, the other one is going to go ahead and strike you with the short sword with advantage. It's going to be 15.
Misses.
Misses. Second one. It's going to be 20.
Yes.
And that one deals 5 points of slashing damage to you. It's just unleashing upon you side to side, being careful not to wake up the other ones. Finishing their go, finishing your up with Pate on deck.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to talk to FCG, because it's the last person I have the telepathic connection with.
Yeah.
And say, we're made, get in here. I'm gonna put my hands to the side of my head and lash out with a psychic whip against the dragonborn and the half giant.
You got it. What's the save on that?
That is a 17 intelligence.
17 intelligence. Ooh, failure. And both failures.
Okay. So that's 3d6. Psychic damage to both of them. Wow, that's shit. 6 points of psychic damage, but both of them have to make a choice on their next turn. They can only move, do an action, or bonus action. They don't get all three.
Got it. Alright, so both things struck by the concentration check. Natural one. Follows a lot of damage. You struck right in the middle of its mind. The dragonborn grabs the sides of his head and kind of clutches him for a second. The pattern vanishes of both Worm and Ashton. Your eyes blink back to consciousness. Frustrated, you grab your weapons at the ready when the next round comes.
Would you think of my shield back up in this moment coming too? Would
I'd say
you
so.
send attack? Great.
I love that.
Great. I'm gonna back up with the rest of my movement.
We'll lose the AC.
Oh, I have to stand next to him?
Yeah, he's guarding you.
Well, then fuck it, I'm gonna stay around.
Okay. Alright, finishing your go, that brings us to Pat's Hay with Worm on deck.
Alright.
What's the creature, the dragon?
That's Pat Hay. I don't have a Pat Hay mini at the moment. Perfect.
I'm gonna have him.
Well, actually, this would be a little more viable. I'll just use this little bird.
Shit.
Tiny. That works.
I also don't want him to get fucking punked. Which were the ones that got, that can only make one choice? Are they both wearing armor?
The Vanguard one is not wearing. It looks like they're wearing robes. You don't have to have armor underneath.
But
The other one is.
the big
The big one.
the big guy. He's gonna fly up to the big guy and I'm gonna dump a shocking grasp into him.
I'm gonna grasp and shock you!
You have advantage because you just
And
see
I
it.
have advantage, which I will happily take. Yes, 18.
18 hits.
Awesome.
Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
can I change my mind and back up? Because I'm gonna lose it anyway. He's about to go.
Okay. Alright. How about that?
Oh, no, wait. No. 7 damage. No. Yeah, 7 damage.
7 damage. Alrighty.
And
Oh! Takes the hit to the chest. Falls to 1.
and it can't take reactions until the start of its next turn.
Good to know.
Does that give Pate time to back up a bit?
Pate wants to.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him move back.
This figure here does get an attack opportunity.
I would have had him
Okay,
go
so that's what I want to check.
play.
So you can see it. Okay. Pate stays in the place. Bring in the top arm.
Does that can we get in now?
Yeah, do they get to move?
It'll take you guys
Oh,
about.
they also don't get a reaction since they failed. On
That's true. So yeah, that's
So
you
you
move.
move
They don't
Right.
get reactions.
So there you go. For you all emerging from that, it's going to take you 2 rounds to get there. So just keep that in mind.
Do you want to start moving or?
Might as well.
All right, I'll mosey on back over to the entrance.
Just make sure they're not
Just sort of,
being made.
Shimmy up to it.
yeah.
Opens, and you all can dart out. But you have
Let me
to.
just let me just take a peek.
Yeah,
Is anybody looking?
It's facing the inside of it, so you only can see the cavern.
Do you have any watching us?
I would have looked around.
Make a perception check.
10 plus 6, 16.
16. There are many people around.
As I go over there, I'm going to carry like a rock, throw it off to the side.
Okay.
Like I'm doing stuff.
Okay, you lean into it. Door open. Hinges. Are you staying inside the automaton?
Yeah.
Okay. So the two of you emerge and climb out of it. So it'll take you one more round before you
I
get there.
guess I'm gonna start class.
All right. Now at the top, Orm, you're up.
Okay, Orm is going to dive into a roll under the half giant's legs and end up flanking Arcane right here. So I am flanking the Ashton,
You got it.
and I'm going to use my blade to spin around toward me. One slash, that is a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
That is a 10 for damage, and then I will try to just stab straight up into his good eye. That is a 21 to hit. That is 9. Yes, 9 damage.
Okay. 9 damage. How do you want to do this?
Exactly what I said. I'm going to use the first swipe just to spin his body around towards me and then just up and catch the non-cataract eye. So now he's got 2 problems.
Okay. Fail blow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just crumbles to the ground. Alrighty. Are you close enough to that motherfucker that we can catch him between the two of us or no?
Yeah, you're an half giant?
Yeah, the half giant.
I mean, it's not if you move.
Okay, I just make sure that's
If you do a diagonal line, you have to cross through the.
Oh, there's actually nowhere I can go that where I go break out.
Oh, wait.
15 to get there.
Oh, you're right.
No, they don't have a reaction right now. They don't.
No, so I can just then get sword up and shield up, and then just circle around and get him pinned between Ashton and
You got it. You can definitely do that. Hold that place. That finishes. There you go. It would be the Exalt's turn, but he's gone. That brings us to Ashton and Chet on deck.
You motherfucker.
I say to you.
And as I say it, I take a swing at the big asshole right there. And let's get some, the half giant. I'm not even going to really bother to rage right now. These guys don't seem like they're really worth it.
Don't jinx this shit.
Should I rage? Yeah, let's fucking rage.
Yeah, but
I got 2 more after this.
Alright.
Okay, fine. I say out loud. Like an idiot. Oh! I give myself a little shake, and crazy rainbow sparkles start popping up. So I am suddenly like a terrible little bit of rainbow bright madness. And I'm gonna nail this motherfucker right in the goddamn head. Go for it. So that's I guess 17 plus 9. That hits.
That definitely hits.
So let's do some damage. This is a little bit. I'm trying to remember what the damage roll. Okay, there we
This
go.
against the half giant?
A half giant.
Yeah, got it.
I assume we've already been hurting.
Yes, the other one hasn't been hurt.
Okay, so that it's 6 plus 8, 14 points of damage.
14 points damage. You got it.
So which one had the nervous leg energy before him and Imogen engaged the dragon?
No, that was the tiny brother. The halfway.
All right, and let's do this again. Oh, thank God, that's 18 to hit.
18 does it.
All right. Ugh, that's the worst. Wait, can I re-roll? I'm trying to remember. I think I had a thing where I can re-roll.
You have defeat for it.
The Merge Crusher. If I, shit, I can't remember. Anyway, that's okay. That's just a terrible roll. 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. That's enough.
So, yeah.
I'll finish that one.
So I roll him one way after seeing him do the spin, and as he's going, I try and turn him back around, but the head just comes clean fucking off.
Oh man, just flung.
That's how you fucking do it.
And now I'm going to roll around to the other side of that little
Oh, well, actually, no. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay there.
All right, you got it. Finishing your go action. Chetney, you're up.
So I'm gonna take the scythe and I'm gonna do a huge flourish, a big swoop over my head, and I'll bring the flaming scythe just under the chin of the guy that we haven't hit yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stare into him and go, "You can keep your head if you want, but you're gonna have to help us. Drop your arms."
Make an intimidation check.
Shit.
I'll give you advantage given the current circumstances here.
Yeah. 19.
19. Okay. The halfling, the stocky halfling who currently has the short sword out, just throws his blade to the ground.
Ash, don't help me drag these bodies out of the entryway. You come with me. I kind of walk over towards the corner.
All right.
At this point, as you start dragging the bodies, both of you emerge into the cavern. Or not, no, you and you. The two of you, sir.
Yes.
Dante's up there.
Yes, he's still up there.
It's over.
What did you
To the guy that we left alive, hands on your head. I'm gonna pat him down. Anything on his body, around his neck, necklace, anything on his
Oh yeah, you see the symbol of the Dust Maiden, the goddess of death around the neck. Hide armor, a couple short swords, some daggers. About 56 gold pieces.
I keep your gold.
I'll take that gold. I used it all. I don't use it.
Have we seen any of this stuff come off this guy? Like, did we watch you like pull everything?
Yeah, you see the
Dusk Maiden. What the fuck is that about? Dusk Maiden?
Make us with him.
Who makes it wear?
Gold. It's part of our attire.
How did they get
Make
behind
them.
the goddess?
What do they make you wear?
Goes to wear as part of our presentation.
So here's the part where you keep your head. We're gonna turn one of these off, and then you get to go free. What you do after that is your business. How do these work?
I don't know. The kind of person knows how these work.
Yeah, but you got eyeballs, don't you? You see people coming in, messing with them, touching things. Anything you can recall right now will keep your lower jaw attached to your head.
I mean, they just kind of, they put them all in there, they combine a bunch of these, like, I don't know, strings through them, and they ran it through the wall up there.
Any problems?
Make an insight check. 14.
Whispers. I gotta throw away my. Whiz Kids exists. It's a company. Makes things.
You were very good in Hunger Games, by the way.
You just only I don't know this stuff, okay? I'm a hired hand. It's supposed to be a fucking payday.
What do you know? Do you have the slightest idea what this thing is about?
Yeah. Little fucker keeps talking about her. Ranting and raving and shit. I got no love for the gods. Not a problem to me. Pay them well, hoping for it. But if you all have problems with this, like, please don't. It's nothing personal. Like, I can walk away and no harm, no foul.
You'll get a payday. You'll come out with us. So just stay there and keep your mouth shut. Any way of communicating with this area? Anything we need to know about speakers, communications?
Usually it's the kind of looks over towards the dragonborn that's lying, leaking and no longer moving on the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good to know.
I tell Pate to keep an eye on the temple entrance.
Take it off. You go to please to the side.
All right. What do you?
Did you do something? There's glyphs on the ground. Are there glyphs on the ground in here?
Right in front of that.
Oh, what? Whoa!
Right as you're like standing, about to head towards it,
Oh
you kind of
my
like
God.
put your foot back. You were
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
lucky.
I thought about it as I moved over there. I was like,
Good call.
Mm.
And you have a traps fishing head.
That's the only one I know, Max.
Why don't you do us a favor? Stand right next to that lift, just so we have it as a marker.
I'm not gonna stand on it.
And on it. Next to it.
Goes over and like hands still behind his head, kind of walks over and kind of like carefully steps around to the other side, but on this edge of it, and kind of like
There's gotta be another one in here. Why would they just put the one? You know where the other one is.
I don't really. They avoid that one every time they come in here to attach more to it. They just keep building. The past few weeks, they just keep attaching more of these orbs and stuff to it.
Big boom in a second. We'll see if there's more. If there
So
isn't.
they had to move them all down here, and then they just had to rewire the whole thing. But that's all I know.
With the boom, if we could disconnect it.
I think
Where
so.
did they move them from? They moved them all down here?
They were up top first, and then about a week ago, they changed everything.
Oh, yeah. Because that'll show any one pulse will show any of these things.
I agree with Chetney, though. I think maybe we could just disconnect the cables. We might even be able to position them away.
This is inferior metalworking. Can I move around the glyph and look up on the side of this basic bitch shit and do an investigation check?
Check for
Yes,
your
you can.
before. Is there anything on the exalted one that is connected to this, or what do I find? Searching the
See what's charms.
No charms, nothing like that. It's actually pretty plain equipment. And a lock.
Is it openable?
It is. And there's a little grove.
Why do you have
Harsh.
to do this?
You guys are still people. You don't know why this person is here.
Damn, did you say you don't know why this person was here?
Everybody is here for the same reason.
Money.
I mean,
Well, there's money.
it's possible everybody's been brainwashed.
Somebody's being held hostage, or they want to get something back that's lost, or
Or you're just angry.
it's just another layer. Okay, investigation check on this
Go
side.
for it.
Can I use my
Guidance.
have advantage on who's induction based on
So yeah, just a single roll on this one. I think it's advantage on.
entities location and objects or the principal kind.
Oh, hidden objects. Oh, this is for what? This is a number stone.
Yeah.
The Hunter's Bane is for
Just for okay.
certain supernatural.
Not great.
And you got
Would you do that?
Yes, add a d4.
I have one. I swear. Okay, sure. Nice. So 15.
15. Yeah, I mean, you can see there's, amongst all these devices that are like clumped together, the energy is like crackling through and pulsing, and you see it's like in immediate proximity as they're pressed to touch each other, the pulses seem to spread between them. So it kind of creates a larger kind of hive battery, if you will. And the ones that can't be pushed into this pile amongst other pieces of machinery, there are these like rigid cables that are all attached that have that kind of residual vein within and through them. It looks like it's functional. It's not, well refined necessarily. They had to make do with moving these down here and assemble something quickly.
I checked the scribble.
Nice. Check the Scrabble. It is moving.
It is moving. Which way? Towards us?
So FCG, as you are there, kind of putting rocks over, you see.